the show for another astrological energy forecast. This will be for the week of August 18th to 24th of 2025. Thank you for clicking onto my video. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back. So family, it's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribes, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's good to see a new face here. Please keep in mind, I do pull oracle cards. These are general oracle card readings, therefore the messages will not and may not resonate with everyone. So please take what resonates with you in your particular situation and leave the rest. Please don't try to make it fit. If the story doesn't fit, okay, if it's not resonating with you, it just means I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. Which leads me to in the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health. Please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. And if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on or it's literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. I am also the author, B. Ulrich, of both fairy tales in my hand here. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is very important for children about their intuition, what it is, how it speaks to them, and how if they listen to it, it can help them to overcome all obstacles, help them to heal from all traumas, as well as get them to their happy ending in whichever way that looks for them. It is a very self-love and self-worth based fairy tale. As well as The Dark High Priestess and Prophecy of the Queen Unseen. This is a fairy tale written for adults about healing, overcoming spiritual warfare and narcissistic abuse from families and friends. It's told through the viewpoint of a divine feminine who realizes that her own mother cursed her life and tried to literally sell her soul in exchange for wealth, and literally anybody and everybody was on the payroll in order for this mother to do this to her daughter, and she used to cut everybody off, just to reclaim her power, to cleanse out her energy with the help of benevolent beings as well as angels, so that way she could be in alignment for her soul purpose, which does consist of being in a high vibrational soulmate or twin flame union. Both of these fairy tales are in the barred format, which means they rhyme. So think like the content of Grimm's fairy tales in the format of Dr. Seuss. They are written and illustrated in such a way to heal and appeal to your inner child as you read them. They're short, they're sweet, they inspire hope, and they make you feel good as you read them. The audiobooks have been released for both books and will be attached to this video for convenience. However, if you choose to purchase the physical copies, thank you. You can find them online at retailers at Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice is second edition print, which means that the autographed first edition, as well as my products, can be found on my website, which is www.spiralthenself.com. All the information will be in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all my social media platforms and pages that you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. As always, I begin each reading and forecast with a prayer. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan, the Trinity, Lu, the Archangels, my ancestors, and seen unseen. Please only allow this reading and forecast when I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If you know what vibrational entities, beings, and energies try to come through, try to ask, project, open a portal, remove, view, be monitoring, spirit, the past, present, or in the future, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to center and unfold, which I give you full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf, whichever you fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know by clear, concise messages. If any try to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, present, or in the future by trying to take a screenshot, ask, project, open a portal, remove, view, be monitoring, spirit, and I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to center and unfold, which I give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers that delivers a divinely guided message. Any curses, sex, evil eye, black magic, witchcraft bindings, let them be blocked, binded, and blinded, and immediately to center on their folds. The sinner's mask ripped off, they'll be able to hide all their lies, deceit, and ill intentions have been exposed and publicly. Okay, collective, I hope you guys are doing well. So we have 6 retrogrades going on right now. So how we do these astrological energy forecasts, we go in the background energies, so the most prevalent energies that can span from a few weeks to several months. Then we go into the weekly energy, which is something that's prevalent from over 48 hours to, it could be a couple weeks or months. And then we go into the daily energies following the corresponding chakra that is most likely to be impacted by the current energies. So right now we have a Pallas retrograde, which will be in retrograde until October 4th. This is where we're questioning established ways of thinking and working in groups for humanitarian causes. We have Pluto retrograde, which will be in retrograde until October 13th. This is where we're challenging the status quo. There's power dynamics, there's societal shifts, as well as we're purging old beliefs that no longer serve us. The newest one, which will start this week, is Ceres retrograde, which will be in retrograde until November 21st. This is where we're re-examining relationships, healing wounds, as well as practicing self-care. Saturn retrograde, which will be in retrograde until November 27th. This is where we're reevaluating past decisions. We're going through an inner restructuring, having spiritual growth, as well as there could be delays that we need to persevere through. Then there's a Neptune retrograde, which will be in retrograde until December 11th. This is where there's an energetic shift from focusing on the group to focusing on ourselves. So a heavy emphasis on sovereignty and independence. Then we have Chiron retrograde, which will be in retrograde until January 1st in 2026. This is where we're healing a specific wound to transmute into a blessing in our life. So the weekly energies here. Weekly energies. So all week, there's going to be 2 major opportunities to develop your natural talents. So one of these is going to be something that's in alignment with your soul purpose. It's where you're going to be developing your natural talents of intuition, emotional growth, and nurture your relationships. But also this week, there's going to be an opportunity of breaking free of old ways of thinking, questioning established ways of thinking, and facing any kind of conflict with grace. So Spirit, what kind of conflict is the collective going to be experiencing that they need to handle with grace? What kind of conflict is the collective going to be experiencing that they need to handle with grace? What kind of conflict is the collective going to be experiencing when it comes to not being successful in something? Your ancestors are here to teach you to have some kind of self-acceptance, compassion, and forgiveness if there's anything that you have lost, and to have the courage to face the unknown, to let go of anything that's trying to take you off your path. So, facing any kind of conflict with grace when it comes to either you not being successful or someone else not being successful. So conflict could be inner conflict, or it could be external, meaning like someone's upset with you because they're not successful, they're not having any kind of abundance and prosperity right now. That's definitely reflected in the collective tarot readings each week, is that people are upset with you because they couldn't take you down, or they're getting karma, or they're saying they do witchcraft, it's backfiring on them, or it's been returned to sender, or they're under divine judgment. So there could be that. It could be either an inner conflict or an external conflict. So take it where it resonates. But your ancestors are telling you to have self-acceptance here and forgiveness. Show yourself some compassion. Have the courage to face the unknown if you're experiencing any kind of loss or someone else is experiencing any kind of loss. I say it could be someone else because you see there's this man here watching the ship sail away, and this person's holding the rope and they're knee deep in water. This could literally be someone who is realizing that they have lost you for good because you had the courage to let go of anybody and everybody and anything and everything that's trying to take you off your path, trying to get you to miss opportunities. So handling that with grace, being withdrawn, being kind of cold towards that individual. Now, towards the end of the week, so August 20th to the 24th, your desire for wanting emotional security and nurturing relationships will assist with overcoming the obstacles and taking the actions needed to initiate the changes to transform a wound into power that will revolutionize your life. You'll need to go through the struggle of reevaluating long-held beliefs to focus on your independence and face conflict with grace, and to persevere through this. This is a character affirming experience where you will not benefit from any kind of protection. So it's a heavy theme this week. It's not just like the overall weekly energy, like one aspect. It's prevalent throughout the week. Spirit, what kind of wound is the collective going to transform into blessings? What kind of wound? So it says inner guidance here and manifesting magic. So it's time for you to pay attention and listen to the guidance of your soul, because you're creating your life based on the intentions you set out to the universe. You're getting ready to soar above all obstacles here. You just need to keep up with your spiritual practices, so meditating, cleansing your space, taking ritual baths, your prayers, okay? Because right now you need to engage in activities that rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul, and to distance yourself from anything and anyone that depletes you. And the wound that you need to change is your inner dialogue. Again, like if you resonated with the inner conflict, changing the way you speak to yourself, show yourself some self-compassion here. Because you're going through a heart opening. When your heart chakra is open, it means that you are open to your blessings, your opportunities, your abundances, but also means that you are open to self-love, which means that that energy will be reflected back to you from another. So that could be like a relationship, which there is a relationship that's on the horizon this week that you are not to chase, but to attract. So that could most definitely be it. Now, when it comes to reevaluating long-held beliefs, Spirit, what is this long-held beliefs that the collective needs to, that the collective is going to be struggling with, that needs to be reevaluated? What are these long-held beliefs that the collective needs to reevaluate? When it comes to not receiving any kind of ascended master guidance when it comes to expanding the legacy of your family, because you could be having some kind of victim mentality that requires you to heal your heart chakra, so that way you can move on, or you could change locations, something like that here. Again, the whole self-acceptance, compassion, forgiveness. And your ancestors are here, again, when it comes to something where you may not be very prosperous, you may not be successful, and to let go of anything that's not serving you, that's trying to get you to miss opportunities, get you off your path here. So it looks like Now, with ascended masters in reverse, it means like you're disconnected from spirit. This could be like ascended masters like Jesus, like Kuan Yin, like Buddha, okay? When it comes to your family tree, your legacy, some kind of victim mentality when it comes to you expanding, having children, getting married, establishing roots here. You could be having some kind of victim mentality, which you can most definitely get rid of. You just have to let go of anything that's not serving you anymore, which is this viewpoint that you have. You could also be getting ready to change your residence. You could be moving somewhere or you could be traveling somewhere. Now, with the family tree establishing roots, you may be afraid or have fear of moving somewhere else to establish roots. That's something that you need to heal your heart chakra of. You could most definitely have dealt with betrayal, which your ancestors are telling you to forgive these people. Now, forgiveness does not mean reconnection. It just means to not let it harden your heart, to block yourself from moving forward. Forgive yourself and forgive these people and move on and up. Again, because you have a lot going on this week. And it's a lot of good, but it looks like it's a lot of like healing yourself, and has mostly to do with healing your thought processes. Now, getting into the daily energies. So we have August 18th. This is where we're going to have a Sigrid meteor shower peak day, and the moon will be in Cancer. Intuitively, you'll be inclined to focus on healing the home, especially emotionally, and know only positive energy flows your way, and happiness is within grasp. Meteor shower peak days are lucky, and this is a lucky one that's going to be favorable for a dictator to learn to let go of power and to resist the temptation of trying to establish control over other people. Now, with this, I'll give you an example of what happens with this, because you have most definitely seen it. So the previous week, we had the Perseid meteor shower peak day, which is where a dictator, this is literally written in the stars, this isn't my personal opinion, written in the stars, it said that there's going to be a dictator that is either going to be harsh or who's going to experience harshness. And what we saw on that day was in the United States, President Trump deciding to go after children and going after homeless people. So by children, it's lowering the legal age to 14 to try 14-year-olds as adults, which also means, because there's this whole pedophilia thing going on, that those minors they seem to like to sleep with will also be considered adults at 14 and will completely negate, any kind of rapey or pedophilia claims going on in court. This week, though, it's about how this dictator is going to learn a lesson. Learning a lesson of resisting the temptation to try to dominate other people, because you can no longer live in darkness, isolation, or fear. Take your place as a presence in the world, a powerful presence in the world. Then we have August 19th, Sun trines Chiron. You're in a new period of utilizing the creative energy to let go of hatred and fear of people that you don't understand, and to transmute a wound into blessings. August 20th, moon goes into the sign of Leo. Your intuition will have you focusing on your joy and to let go of any hesitation, to fully commit to your path and to moving forward confidently on your path. Then we have August 21st. This is where we have Ceres retrograde. There's great potential in your situation this day if you allow yourself to be self-directed, to set boundaries, create balance, stay calm, and keep your faith unwaveringly. August 22nd, Sun goes into the sign of Virgo, and I have the collective tarot reading for that. I'll attach this to this video for you. Venus squares Chiron, Moon in Virgo. So the Sun in Virgo will be until September 21st. That's when the fall equinox is. It's a keen eye for detail, working hard, and desire to serve others. Get ready for a profound relationship. You gotta let it come to you, though, so don't try to push forward on it. Remember your desire for emotionally secure relationships. That this will assist you with overcoming the obstacle to transmute a wound into a blessing. Your intuition will help you to analyze any of the details. August 23rd, we have a new moon in Virgo, and Mercury quintiles Uranus. Your intuition will analyze the details and plan on how you can develop yourself in all ways. It's a harmonious energy as well as holds high potential to creatively break free from old ways of thinking to gain independence. The yin energy is very prevalent, which means the feminine energy is very prevalent. So intuition, receptive energy, it's a very restful and dynamic time. August 24th, Sun squares Uranus. Your situation will improve quickly if you utilize the creative energy to break free from old ways of thinking. Your energy will be renewed to overcome any kind of inner demons that you may have. So again, it's like this whole week is about reevaluating any kind of beliefs that you have that had some kind of victim mentality. You may be dealing with some kind of pause, some kind of setback, Know that it's happening for you, not to you. That's actually started the previous week's end of week. So today, when this is filmed, it's a Friday. So the Saturday and Sunday energy along with Friday, so the weekend of this current week when this is being filmed, there's going to start to be some kind of setback or delay. It's a pause, a time out, and it's a purposeful one. And it's going to run into the next week. So don't lose hope. Know that nothing but positivity and abundance flows your way. Okay, you are safe and you are protected. This is a time period where you're going to have something trigger you so that way you can reevaluate any kind of long-held beliefs that aren't serving you anymore, that's stopping you from moving forward. There's a wound here that you need to heal so that way you can have some kind of blessing. And until you do it, you're going to be blocked. Okay, so heart opening this week. Now, the chakra that coincides with this week is the throat chakra. Your throat chakra is the ability to define ourselves in the world. It's useful for manifesting and self-protection. It's the center of choice, which means it's the center of our karma, as well as all illnesses and diseases are connected to this chakra because choice is a factor. The yang function of this chakra is expressing and voicing our truths. The yin function is attuned to receiving guidance. The throat chakra is a vehicle of our soul's expression. It provides options in the form of dreams, intuition, and we say yes or no to these options. If your internal programming is positive, it will be uplifting and growth-related options. If it's negative, remember we had that thing at the beginning of the week which said that you need to change the way that you talk to yourself, because if it's negative, you'll get self-sabotaging options, okay? This is the center of clairaudience, clear hearing, which means the ability to speak to ourselves psychically, as well as our spirit guides and people and ancestors to speak to us. Fears of this chakra are related to our willpower. Strengths is self-knowledge, personal authority, keeping our word to ourselves and our others, and faith. You will get sick if you don't keep your word or if you do not speak your truth. It will start in the throat chakra, so there could be something that you need to express. Problems if this chakra is at misaligned malfunction is disorders in throat, jaw, mouth, thymus, tonsils. You can have some kind of feeling of victimization, which we saw, and an ability to say yes or no, which can translate into chronic sore throat, mouth ulcers, scoliosis, laryngitis, long glands, raspy throat. Addictions is oral fixations, talking, eating, compulsive munching, and crunching on salty foods. All right, collective. I hope I was able to provide you clarity, but you're going to know as what to expect this week. Thank you for watching. If you like my vibe in this video, please like and subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priest of the process of creating